This is Chaco Canyon in the southwestern United States. Chaco is the home for an ancient civilization that possibly saw and reported a supernova explosion hundreds of years ago.
Well, my name is G.B. Cornucopia. I'm a park ranger at Chaco Culture National Historical Park in northwestern New Mexico.
Okay. GB, we do have a pictograph at the far end of this park that some people think represents a supernova explosion. Could you go over some of the things that make it possible that this is a pictograph of the supernova explosion?
Well, it's a painting that consists of three symbols. They're on the underside of an overhang, so they're about 25-30 feet up, painted in red, probably hematite, iron oxide ore, which was commonly used here in such features. And the three symbols seem to be what look like a bright star, a crescent, and a hand, a human hand. Now, there are three bits of circumstantial evidence that suggest to some people that what we have here is a depiction of the supernova of 1054, which we know these people saw. And that's one of the bits of circumstantial evidence, the timing. We know there were people here. This was a very busy place. They would have seen this event, a star that becomes so bright that for 23 days you could see it during the day. I mean, no one doubts that the people in Chaco 1,000 years ago saw this. So that's one. The other is the crescent. Right next to the supernova, about 4 degrees away, when it first rose at its brightest, about 2 hours before the sun came up on July 5th, 1054, we have the crescent moon, the waning crescent moon. And this is depicted in the painting in the proper configuration, orientation. So that's a circumstantial bit of evidence. And then the handprint. Now, the fingers of the hand point to the east, pretty much to the spot where you would have seen the supernova rise above the horizon had you been standing there at the spot where you can view the pictograph. Now, that's all circumstantial. We can't date the pictograph. We don't know for sure it comes from the Chacoans. Most people look at it and say it probably does. But it could be other things too. But every other interpretation of it is something that they saw in the sky. Some say the sun and the moon. Some say it's a conjunction between Venus and the moon. Lots of different ideas of what it may be. We really, truly don't know. But there are those compelling and intriguing bits of circumstantial evidence that's highly suggestive to some people that it might, in fact, be an eyewitness account of this event in 1054.
Thank you very much.
Supernovas like this are rare occurrences in our galaxy. The idea of this project is to find one using modern telescopes and software in one of the many galaxies in our universe. How does all of this work? We have a go-to telescope with a modern imaging camera. The telescope is scripted. This means the software that controls the telescopes can go through a designated list of galaxies and image them. The images are downloaded into the hard drive of the computer. This will give us a reference collection of galaxies. The next night we will do the same procedure and image the galaxies again. If a new star is present, it will show up by blinking in and out on the screen. One must be careful here because the effect can be created by artifacts, asteroids, and other non-supernova events. This project will continue on the rest of this year and next to find an exploding star at an ancient observatory site. The discovery will not be recorded as a pictograph on a wall, but reported to the International Clearinghouse for these types of discoveries.